everybody. I just came from Libya. I was there a week ago, and I took some souvenirs from Tripoli with me. And just to familiarize, to make it a little bit more familiar, I would like to remake a little Tripoli here, because this is what the people of Libya do. By the way, this is Muammar Gaddafi, of course, and you see it's already partly destroyed, because what they do in Tripoli is this. They throw this on the street and then they drive with their cars over it. This is a green flag, this is the Qaddafi flag, and it's been fully destroyed. And also they throw that on the streets. They use motorcycles or cars, or they kick it. I'm not going to kick anything, and hopefully nobody's going to drive any car here. But this is a little bit to feel at home, because I've been for a long time in Libya, covering the revolution there. I've been now for 10 years, over 10 years in living in Pakistan and the Middle East. And before that, as said before, I've been living in the Balkans for 8 years, covering the Kosovo War and the Bosnia War. So I've kind of seen a lot of conflict in my life, but I've never, ever seen something like this. And with this, I mean the year 2011. All these Arab revolutions, these uprisings, it just never, ever stops. Let me talk about Libya specifically, because this is actually the only real revolution that took place. It was not an uprising like in Egypt or in Tunisia or in Yemen. It's a true revolution. When we went there as journalists in the beginning of the Libyan revolution, it was entirely unclear actually who would win the war. You had the Qaddafi forces on one side, the rebels. We were with the rebels. It was easier to work there. But we had no clue who would win this conflict. But let's fast forward 9 months, and I'm standing now here in front of you, and I'm carrying this document. And this document kind of says it all. Let me also show it a little bit larger. Sorry. This document says it all, because this is the cat passport of the Qaddafi family. I took this cat passport from the private residence of Muammar Gaddafi in the center of Tripoli. To be more specific, I took it actually from the bedroom of his daughter, Hannah al-Qaddafi. As you can see, there's a picture of the cute cat. It's a female cat. And in Arabic, you can read it. The name of the cat is Dodi. Dodi the cat. Of course, not to be confused with another rather famous Arabic Dodi. Except for the cat passport, I also took a plane ticket. This is a plane ticket of Hannah al-Qaddafi. You can read it there, Miss Hannah al-Qaddafi. And don't worry, she wasn't flying tourist class like you guys or I am flying. You can read a little bit up. You can see Hannah Miss VIP Leader of Revolution's daughter. This was her plane ticket. Now, Hannah's room was kind of messy. Frankly, this whole area, the whole Qaddafi house, was kind of messy. It kind of reminded me a little bit of the student dorm where I lived 20 years ago. The reason for that is that I wasn't there alone in this house, the Qaddafi residence, obviously. There were thousands, literally thousands of Libyans running around, armed with guns or with sticks, and rebels and civilians, and they were attacking anything they could see, anything they could get their hands on. So after 42 years of Qaddafi rule, which was a very brutal rule, even for the Middle East, after 42 years, all this frustration came out, all the torture, all the dictatorship, and these people went really for it, and they destroyed everything. If I wouldn't have taken this with me, it would have been destroyed after 5 minutes. So I just took it with me, not of course as stealing, but for historical reasons, because it is 42 years. It was, of course, the heritage of the Libyan people. Let me pick it up. What I saw there, all these people shooting and destroying all these Qaddafi things, destroying the whole compound, I thought, wow, that is really people's power. Because these thousands of people had rebelled against the dictator and they had won. And that is cynical because Gaddafi was the man who would always speak about people's power. Let me just show you something. This is Gaddafi's green book. Now, it's not very green, you would say, and it's true. It's a very white book, but that's because I found this green book of Gaddafi. I found it in his swimming pool. There were about 100 green books laying in it. So the green cover kind of is gone. But believe me, this is the green book. And what Gaddafi would say about people's power is, the green book, and I'm quoting him here, the green book guides the masses to an unprecedented practical system of direct democracy. I looked around me, I saw all these people shooting, destroying. I thought, it's maybe not democracy yet, but it's pretty direct. So, okay. Just to give you a little bit an idea of who Muammar Gaddafi was, let me read a couple of quotes from the Green Book, because it's not only a weird Green Book because it's been in the swimming pool, it's also a Green Book, a weird Green Book because of what it says, because of the content. Here, for instance, and I'm quoting, according to Muammar Gaddafi, women are females and men are males. It also took me a while to understand the depth of this remark. There's a second one, or there are many, but there's a beautiful second one. According to Muammar Gaddafi, he says, according to gynecologists, women menstruate every month or so, while men, being male, do not. What to say more? It is at least clear that owning a swimming pool does not necessarily improve your talent as a writer or a thinker. But this is just a little bit to show you how weird the man was and how difficult it was for all these people to live in Libya. And I would ask these people, I said, why did you rebel? How did you dare to rebel against this guy? And they all would say, because of the uprisings in Tunisia and in Egypt. And that's why I was so happy when I found this photo album in the rubble. You can see it's still like black because of the smoke. This is the photo album. And this is Gaddafi's photo album of his trip to Tunisia. You can see over there, that's a picture of Ben Ali, the former Tunisian president. And that is Muammar Gaddafi, obviously. He is in exile now in Saudi Arabia. He is dead, as we all know. Interestingly, here, and you have to look a little bit, is a couple of Arabic words. And it says, Dear Mr. Qaddafi, it's written by the photographer who made the picture. He said, Dear Colonel Qaddafi, please accept this photo album as my present. Very nice. It is pretty clear that it was very dangerous for Libyans to rebel. And I heard really terrible stories because the price for freedom is in the Middle East also very high. I would stay at one point with a family, father and son 20 years, very nice guys. And they would make breakfast in the morning, we could sleep in their house. And the 20-year-old boy wanted to go on a picture together. He had the iPod, made a couple of pictures of us. Very nice guy. A couple of weeks later, we met the father. And the father looked literally like a million years older. Because as you can feel already, it's coming. His son was killed by a Qaddafi soldier, a Qaddafi sniper. So running around in Libya with all these people who died in front of your eyes, it sometimes really gave you the feeling that you actually were walking in a forest during autumn and that the leaves were falling down and there was absolutely nothing you could do. Nothing you could do about it. I remember I went to this hospital where a guy was laying who was hit by a tank shell. And half his face was gone, his hand was gone, fingers gone. Doctors were working on his leg, And I almost couldn't take it anymore, so I kind of turned around. And as I turned around, I saw his other amputated leg, his left leg, laying in a garbage bag on the floor. So yes, indeed, for the Libyan people, I have seen firsthand how courageous they are. What an amazing thing they have done of getting rid of the dictator Gaddafi. But time is kind of up. So let me show you this. This is Gaddafis Clock. I found it in the kitchen, close to the living. And it kind of ended all for the Qaddafi family at 5:45. Don't know in the morning or the evening. But 5:45 was the time that it was over for the Gaddafis. What happened is that the wife of Qaddafi and the daughters and the son, they left for Algeria. Qaddafi and two of his sons, they went for 2 towns. They tried to fight on, but they were killed. Qaddafi, as we know, he was lynched by his own people. And his son, Mutassim, he was executed the same day. One of the sons, I'm sure you all have seen this on television. One of the sons was recently, Saif al-Islam was recently arrested in the south of Libya and is now in jail. So basically with people outside, the Qaddafis outside Libya, or either dead or in jail, there is still one Qaddafi who walks around freely in Tripoli, in the capital. And who is that, you might ask? Well, it's Dodi the cat. Because Dodi the cat probably is still sitting in some kind of tree, or he's hanging around with his mates on the rooftops of Tripoli, or begging for some food in the meat markets, the kebab markets, or the fish markets of Tripoli. And that's a little bit the morale of the story, is that cats might have 7 or even 9 lives, but Arab leaders don't have that luxury. Arab leaders have 1 life. Tunisia, Egypt, Libya, a couple of days ago, Yemen, and maybe tomorrow, Syria. 1 life, and that's it. Thank you.
Dank je. Neem het applaus.